Hi friends, welcome to another session of Cayton Recess. I am the amazing Andres and I am very excited to have you with me today. So this week, all of our activities in Cayton Recess are going to be revolving around the theme and the value of family. So today, we're going to start off with a little read-along. And this book is a very special book, one of my favorite books from one of my favorite writers. It's called The Lorax by Dr. Seuss. I wanted to start off this book with our week on family because family to me really means the big family. And what do I mean by that? I mean the whole earth. I mean all of us together, all one big family on an earth that we want to take care of. So we're going to see how the Lorax encourages us all to really own our family and take care of it. At the far end of town, where the grickle grass grows, and the wind smells slow and sour when it blows, and no birds ever sing, excepting old crows, is the street of the lifted Lorax. Spooky place. And deep in the grickle grass, some people say, if you look deep enough, you can still see today where the Lorax once stood, just as long as it could, before somebody lifted the Lorax away. What was the Lorax? And why was it there? And why was it lifted and taken somewhere? From the far end of town where the grickle grass grows. The old Onceler still lives there. Ask him. He knows. I guess this is where the Onceler lives, huh? It's a spooky place. Now you won't see the Onceler. Don't knock at his door. He stays in his lurkin on top of his store. He lurks in his lurkin, cold under the roof, where he makes his own clothes out of myth-muffered moof. And on special dank midnights in August, he peeks out of the shutters, and sometimes he speaks and tells how the Lorax was lifted away. He'll tell you, perhaps, if you're willing to pay. Oh, look, I think there he is. That might be him. I wonder what he expects you to pay. On the end of a rope, he lets down a tin pail, and you have to toss in 15 cents and a nail, and the shell of a great, great, great grandfather snail. Huh. Do you think you have anything like that lying around? I guess he's got the payment. Then he pulls up the pail and makes a most careful count to see if you've paid him the proper amount. Then he hides what you paid him away in his snub, his secret strange hole in his grovulous glove. Then he grunts, I will call you by whispermophone, for the secrets I tell you are for your ears alone. Down slops the whispermophone to your ear, and the old Onceler's whispers are not very clear, since they have to come down through a snurgly hose, and he sounds as if he had smallish bees up his nose. No, I'll tell you, he says, with his teeth sounding gray, how the Lorax got lifted and taken away. It all started way back, such a long, long time back. Way back in the days when the grickle grass was still green, and the pond was still wet, and the clouds were still clean, and the song of the swami swans rang out in space, one morning I came to this glorious place. And I first saw the trees, the truffula trees, the bright-colored tufts of the truffula trees, mile after mile in the fresh morning breeze. Oh, wow. See, there's the Onceler. It's quite the sight. I'd be amazed, too. And under the trees, I saw brown Barbaloots frisking about in their Barbaloot suits as they played in the shade and ate truffula fruits. And from the ripulous pond came the comfortable sound of the humming fish humming while splashing around. There's the humming fish, and there's the brown Barbaloots in their Barbaloot suits. Yeah, it's amazing. But those trees, those truffula trees. All my life I've been searching for trees such as these. The touch of their tufts was much softer than silk, and they had the sweet smell of fresh butterfly milk. I felt a great leaping of joy in my heart. I knew just what I'd do. I unloaded my cart. So there he is, throwing out all of his things from his cart. I wonder what the Onceler's gonna do. In no time at all, I had built a small shop. Then I chopped down a truffula tree with one chop. And with great skillful skill and with great speedy speed, I took the soft tuft and I knitted a thneed. You see the thneed? Looks kind of like jammy jams to me. And the instant I'd finished, I heard a gusump. I looked. I saw something pop out of the stump of the tree I'd chopped down. It was a sort of a man. Describe him? That's hard. I don't know if I can. He was shortish and oldish and brownish and mossy, and he spoke with a voice that was sharpish and bossy. I think we're talking about this guy. Mister, he said with a sawdusty sneeze, I am the Lorax. I speak for the trees. I speak for the trees have no tongues, and I'm asking you, sir, at the top of my lungs. He was very upset as he shouted and puffed. What's that thing you've made out of my truffula tuft? Oh. I don't think he's very happy about this. Okay, look, Lorax, I said. There's no cause for alarm. I chopped just one tree. I'm doing no harm. I'm being quite useful. This thing is a thneed. A thneed's a fine something that all people need. It's a shirt, it's a sock, it's a glove, it's a hat, but it has other uses. Yes, far beyond that. You can use it for carpets, for pillows, for sheets, or curtains, or covers, or bicycle seats. And the Lorax said, Sir, you are crazy with greed. There is no one on earth who would buy that fool thneed. What do you think? Do you think the Lorax is right? I don't know, people will buy all kinds of things. But the very next minute, I proved he was wrong. For just at that minute, a chap came along, and he thought that thneed I had knitted was great. He happily bought it for $3.98. I laughed at the Lorax. You poor stupid guy. You never can tell what some people will buy. That's right. Oh, look, the Barbaloots. They're shocked, too. Huh. Well, I repeat, cried the Lorax. I speak for the trees. I'm busy, I told him. Shut up, if you please. Now, I rushed across the room, and in no time at all, I built a radio phone. I put in a quick call. I called all my brothers and uncles and aunts, and I said, listen here. Here's a wonderful chance for the whole Onceler family to get mighty rich. Get over here fast. Take the road to North Nitch. Turn left at Weehawken and sharp right at South Stitch. So there's the Onceler calling his whole family, and he's not listening to that Lorax. He seems very concerned, though. And in no time at all, in the factory I built, the whole Onceler family was working full tilt. We were all knitting thneeds, just as busy as bees, to the sound of the chopping of truffle trees. Wow, there's all the Oncelers. How many are there? I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Well, there's 13 members of the Onceler family, it looks like. Wow. Then, oh baby, oh how my business did grow. Now chopping one tree at a time was too slow. So I quickly invented my super axe hacker, which whacked off 4 truffle trees in one smacker. We were making thneeds 4 times as fast as before, and that Lorax, he didn't show up anymore. So there's his super axe hacker. Pretty powerful stuff. But the next week, the Lorax, he knocked on my new office door. He snapped, "I'm the Lorax who speaks for the trees, which you seem to be chopping as fast as you please. But I'm also in charge of brown Barbaloots who played in the shade in their Barbaloot suits and happily lived eating truffle fruits. Now, thanks to your hacking up my trees to the ground, there's not enough truffle fruit to go around. And my poor Barbaloots are still getting the crummies because they have gas and no food in their tummies." Oh, those poor Barbaloots, they're really not doing too good. Oh, look how big the Onceler's Thneed factory has gotten. Wow. Oh. They loved living here, but I can't let them stay. They'll have to find food, and I hope that they may. Good luck, boys, he cried, and he sent them away. I, the Onceler, felt sad as I watched them go. But business is business, and business must grow, regardless of crummies and tummies, you know. So, goodbye, Barbaloots. Say goodbye to the Barbaloots. They gotta go. Doesn't really fit their lifestyle. Look, I meant no harm. I most truly did not, but I had to grow bigger, so bigger I got. I biggered my factory, I biggered my roads, I biggered my wagons, I biggered the loads. Of the thneeds I shipped out, I was shipping them forth to the south, to the east, to the west, to the north, and I went right on biggering, selling more thneeds. And I biggered my money, which everyone needs. So there you go, yeah. Big factory of the thneeds, all the trees are almost gone. And then again he came back. I was fixing some pipes when the old nuisance Lorax came back with more gripes. "I am the Lorax." He coughed and he whiffed. He sneezed and he snuffled. He snargled and he sniffed. "Onceler," he cried with a crofulous croak. "Onceler, you're making such smogulous smoke. My poor swami swans, why, they can't sing a note. No one can sing who has smog in his throat." Oh, even the swami swans are all bent out of shape too. It's really smoggy now. "And so," said the Lorax, "please pardon my cough. They cannot live here, so I'm sending them off." "Where will they go?" "I don't hopefully know. They may have to fly for a month or a year to escape from the smog you've smogged up around here." So there go the swami swans. "What's more," snapped the Lorax, his dander was up, "let me say a few words about Glopitt Glup. Your machinery chugs on day and night without stop, making gluppity glup, also schloppity schlop. And what do you do with this leftover goo? I'll show you, you dirty Onceler man, you." So there's the gluppity glup and the schloppity schlop factory. I wonder what's gonna happen in here. "You're glumping the pond where the hummingfish hummed. No more can they hum, for their gills are all gummed. So I'm sending them off. Oh, their future is dreary. They'll walk on their fins and get woefully weary, in search of some water that isn't so smeary." Oh, so there go the humming fish. They gotta leave too. I wouldn't want to swim in that either, would you? Oh. And then I got mad. I, the Onceler, got terribly mad. And I yelled at the Lorax. Now listen here, Dad. All you do is yap, yap, and say, bad, 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 bad. Well, I have my rights, sir. And I'm telling you, I intend to go on doing just what I do. And for your information, you Lorax, I'm figuring on biggering and biggering and biggering and biggering, turning more truffle trees into sneeds, which everyone needs. I wonder what the Lorax is going to say to that. And at that very moment, we heard a loud whack. From outside in the fields came a sickening smack of an axe on a tree. Then we heard the tree fall. The very last truffle tree. The last one of them all. There it goes. No more trees, no more needs, no more work to be done. So in no time, my uncles and aunts, everyone, all waved me goodbye. They jumped into my cars and drove away under the smoke-smuggered stars. Now all that was left neath the bad-smelling sky was my big, empty factory, the Lorax, and I. Now the Lorax said nothing. Just gave me a glance. Just gave me a very sad, backward glance. As he lifted himself by the seat of his pants. I'll never forget the grim look on his face when he hoisted himself and took leave of this place through a hole in the smog without leaving a trace. So there goes the Lorax. See, he's holding himself by the seat of his pants. Goodbye, Lorax. And all that the Lorax left here in this mess was a small pile of rocks with one word. Unless. Whatever that meant, well, I just couldn't guess. That was long, long ago. But each day since that day, I've sat here and worried away. Through the years, while my buildings have fallen apart, I've worried about it with all my heart. There's the unless, the old factory. But now, says the Onceler, now that you're here, the word of the Lorax seems perfectly clear. Unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing is going to get better. It's not. So, catch, calls the Onceler. He lets something fall. It's a truffle seed. It's the last one of them all. You're in charge of the last of the truffle seeds, and truffle trees are what everyone needs. Planting new truffle, treat it with care, give it clean water, and feed it with fresh air. Grow a forest, protect it from axes that hack. Then the Lorax and all of his friends, they may come back. The end. So that's the Lorax, my friends. And as you can see, it's up to us as a family together to really protect our Earth. And, you know, we're going to be thinking a lot about the Earth this whole month in general, because we do have Earth Day coming up as well. So just be thinking about this big family of ours. We got moms, we got dads, we got cousins, brothers, sisters, but we also have our neighbors. We have the animals that live nearby. We also have the trees and the forests and everything around us. We are all one big family on this earth, and we have to take care of it together. Well, thank you so much, friends, for stopping by today. We're going to be doing more explorations into family this week. We got plenty of more fun books to read, and I got a fun sing-along to do with y'all. So thank you so much for hanging out, and please, if you want to hit us a comment about your favorite books on family, please let me know, and hit the hashtag Cayton Recess, and follow us, subscribe to us on YouTube, and like to hang out with you guys more. Thanks a lot. I'm the amazing Andres, and thanks for joining me. Take care.